Lord, we also pray for our fellow County Commissioner, Bill Valentine, in neighboring Allegheny County for the passing of his mother. And we just reach out to Commissioner Valentine and the Valentine family and express our condolences and love for the family, and just be with them throughout this time of grieving. Direct us and guide us here today. Watch over us and use us for thy service, I pray in thy name. Amen.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'd like to call the Washington County Board of County Commissioners June 13th, 2017 meeting to order. With that, I'd like to ask for a motion for the approval of the minutes from the June 6th meeting.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion and a second for the approval of those minutes. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? 5-0. Commissioners' reports and comments. Commissioner Kiefer.
Well, I would just like to thank our local City of Hagerstown Fire Department and any other local departments that may have responded to a call here at this building this morning. Fortunately, it was just a air conditioning unit that was working in reverse, apparently. That caused a little bit of smoke on our third floor, but they responded very quickly, and thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Klein.
No comments. Thank you.
Commissioner
Nothing
Myers.
from me. Thank you.
Commissioner Barr.
Yes, two things. Appreciate my fellow commissioners. Last Tuesday, I was absent. Was attending the Maryland Bankers Association. The only reason I bring that up is I felt it was a privilege to attend that event. And not only being on a bank board, but it also gives a lot of insight into what we do as county commissioners when we look at our bonding rate and the size budget and the size capital improvement budget and many other functions that we deal with, on an annual basis, and then overseeing even the school board's budget and a lot of the capital. So it just was 2 days of training and seminars and symposium, and it was very fruitful, very enlightening and educational. The other thing I wanted to comment on is got a call from the Mako office late last week, and they asked for my assistance in being a moderator at the Summer Agro-Tourism Conference that was held at the Baltimore County Ag Facility, which was just absolutely phenomenal. Very nice facility. Spent the day there in Baltimore County yesterday. The Mako staff was there. It was well attended. As a matter of fact, Jill Baker and forgive me, it's Lou from Trescott. Lou Trescott from the health department. There was about 75 in attendance from all over the state, and it was once again it was a well planned and organized day-long symposium about agritourism and how important it is to the state of Maryland and each of the individual counties. There was an open learning session all afternoon, best practices where each county that was in attendance could stand up and talk about what they particularly do for the ag in their county, how important, and what works, what doesn't work, and it was an afternoon of sharing. So Washington County was well represented, and so very, very proud of that, and thanks for those that put it together and spent the day there. So thank you.
Thank you. For myself, I'd just like to congratulate all of the graduates with the Leadership Washington County class of 2017. I want to thank staff for also being there. And I can't remember the numbers. Do you remember how many graduates there were? 28. 28 graduates. And was this did they say the 30th graduating class? And they were pretty energetic, and I believe...
Class 26 was the best.
Well, not according to this meeting. this graduation. I think they raised more.
26 out there listening.
So they raised more money than any other class to give back to the community and the organization so that they can better serve our communities. And so I just wanted to congratulate all the graduates and all of the managers that put the event on. So congratulations. Okay, last chance for comments. Okay, reports from county staff. We have any staff here that would care to come forward with a report? Yes, ma'am.
Stephanie Stone from Health and Human Services. I have a position to recommend to fill. We have an administrative assistant position with the Engineering and Construction Management Department. That person will be working directly in engineering. It's a grade 9. It will be a step 2 because it's a promotion from within. And the position will pay $37,010, and that's with the raises on July 1st. The position is available due to the promotion of Krista Hart, who is now the executive assistant to the county administrator. The recommendation is to hire Monica Lindsay, who is currently a permit tech, and she has been for a little over 3 years. Yes. Be a lateral move within the same division. And if this is approved, I would also like to ask for her position as a permit tech to be filled, because that's a very important position that we need to have filled. I think they're very busy down there right now. Be glad to answer any questions.
So you just want us to vote on both at the same time or one at a time?
That'd be great, both.
Commissioners want to do? Okay. So I have a motion from Mr. Barr.
Motion to approve.
Second, Mr. Myers, for the approval of both requests. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 5-0.
We thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other reports, comments from staff?
I have one. Good morning, commissioners, staff, guests. I just have a brief comment about last week's news with the More Jobs for Marylanders Act that Governor Hogan brought up, as well as Secretary Mike Gill, Secretary of Commerce Mike Gill. What I'm here to say is that they have announced the news last week. This week and then the coming weeks, they're setting up additional guidelines and information for the public and businesses to basically get more ground rules and application guidelines. And I'm just here to report that the county is ready for those, and we are working through our Department of Commerce rep, Andrew Sargent, for the release of that information. And to stay tuned, more likely there's a better update on the June 27th meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments, reports from staff, boards and commissions? Any boards or commissions? Okay.
President Baker,
Mm-hmm.
I have a comment to bring to the public's attention and to the commissioners, is that on Wednesday, June 21st, so there will be a meeting from 5:30 to 8, that it's a come and go as you like at South Hagerstown, held by State Highway Administration regarding the interchange of I-70 and Maryland 65. This is the second in public meeting out there being held, with the premium outlets to the north, the vast development to the south, the communities surrounding, and the 3 schools, 4 schools actually. In fact, there's 5 schools in that immediate area if you look at all of them, VOTEC and everything. Very important interchange, roadway in and out of the city of Hagerstown. So I think they sent circulars to a lot of the residents in the area, and you also may have received that. We will try to get that posted on our website. I think we can do that, Sarah, to get that word out so they can get public attendance and participation, comments. They're looking for comments on the plans and so forth that they are presenting forward. Thank you.
The time again was 5:30 to
5:30 to 8, so you can come at any time. There is no start period per se. So if you wanted to come at 7:30, that would be fine. Usually it's walking through some graphics of what they have, and staff's there to explain what they're doing. So very casual conversation. They will take comments and try to explain the various options in front of them.
Thank you. Last chance for staff comments. Okay, citizens' participation. We have any citizens here today who would care to participate? Okay, 2017 Maryland Agricultural Land Preservation, known as MALF, the final certification report approval. Mr. Seifert, how are you today?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Every 3 years, we are required to provide a certification report. It's really a checklist, a working document back and forth between us, the Maryland Department of Planning, and the Maryland Ag Land Preservation Foundation. And the significance of this, it relates to the ag transfer tax. If we are not certified, we can only keep 33% of that fund. If we are certified, we keep 75%. And then there's also a multiplying effect. We use those funds for the 60-40 match component with the state. So a little bit of money goes a long way, so we try to keep every bit we have. And we've always been successful, and I expect the same this year with the state. But basically what we have to do is, and this is lengthy, I won't go through it all, but we use the audits provided to us every year, and we have to show, number one, that we have spent all the money within a 3-year period. We've always done that, and it will continue to happen because we've committed, the funds we have sitting there right now have been committed for this fiscal year for the land preservation program. And then secondly, we have to show that we're using that money wisely. That means it's going to projects that are preserving farmland, it's being leveraged, it's being used for good farms. So we have always shown that. Just a few highlights here. On page 5, there's a graph, and that really tells a lot of the story. It shows land converted, which was during the 5-year period, which they asked us to look at, even though this is a 3-year report. We had 474 acres converted of farmland, but we preserved 2,258 acres. So the state is very happy with that ratio. As long as you can keep it 50-50, they're happy, and we're way above that. Another significant feature, to date, we have preserved, counting the forest conservation easements, we have preserved about 31,000 acres. Without those forest conservation easements, it's around a little less than 30,000. To date, in the history of the program, we have received over $75 million of county, state, and federal, and a few private dollars to preserve farmland. So with the limited funds we received, we've had a very successful program, and I think the state will find the same. Again, this is too lengthy to go through all the details if you have any specific questions, but we have received approval from the Ag Board, and we're seeking approval today from the county commissioners.
Okay, any questions, comments? Anyone want to make a motion for the recommended motion?
So moved.
Approval. Okay, we have a motion and a second for the recommended motion. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 5-0. Thank you, Mr. Seifert.
Thank you.
Bid award, information technology. I didn't see Ms. Luther here. Someone here representing Ms. Luther? They are early. Okay. Tracy, everyone, you okay moving forward? Okay, down to the 10:45 a.m. item, 2007-2018 property and casualty insurance renewals. Ms. McCammon, Patrick Hancock. How are you this morning?
Good.
Good.
So we're here to present the 2017-2018 property and casualty insurance renewal. The recommended motion is to move to renew the policies in place for policy year 2017-18 with the liability policies with Travelers Insurance Company, property and equipment policies with the local government insurance trust, and airport liability policy with Global Aerospace. Renewal quotes from insurance carriers are reflected on the attached premium comparison and show a total increase of $17,122 over last year's actual. It's a 1.5% increase for fiscal year 2018. Due to ongoing successful efforts of Aon, renewal quotes from carriers were well within our budgeted increases. The fiscal impact is presented insurance program renewal results a premium increase of 1.5%, which is well within the 8% budgeted. Concurrences is Stephanie Stone, and the alternative is to lapse of insurance policies and necessity for repeat of market bid. Any questions?
Yeah, I do. On the line of coverage, what does EPLI stand for?
It's our employment practices liability.
I'm sorry, what was the E?
Employment practices.
Okay, any other questions, comments from the commissioners? If none, need a motion to move forward as presented.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the approval of the recommended motion. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 5-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day. Okay. Bid award PUR 1352 Information Technology and Related Election Technical Services for the Washington County Board of Elections. Ms. Luther, Mr. Jackson, Mr. Field, how are you three today?
Okay. You have before you a recommendation for the services for the Election Board, Information Technology and Related Election Technical Services. Before I get into who we're recommending it be awarded to, this service has been provided since I think it's 2002 by Kay Rabucci, the director of the department's husband. He's worked for different companies prior to now. He used to be paid as a regular wages person, and now they've moved that money into contracted services. As a result of that, and they have $50,000 in that line item, we put that out to bid for those services. As a result, it was a public advertisement in the Maryland Marketplace, on the county website, and also in the local newspaper. There were, let me see, multiple downloads of the 148 downloaded the document. One attendee at the pre-bid conference, and we did receive only one bid, which was IT Election Services, LLC of Hagerstown, Maryland, at the lowest annual total bid price of $49,920. They will be paid monthly for those services. However, the State Board of Elections provides services 2 months prior to any election. During that 2 months, this service provider will not be paid, and that was spelled out in the bid document. Mr. Rabucci, the director of Kay's husband, is the proprietor of IT Election Services, LLC. I also wanted to let you know, according to the procurement policy manual, that it is allowable for an employee's relative or whatever to have a contract as long as I'm advised and we take it through the process of public advertising. And that not only goes for contracts that are $50,000 or more that come in here for award, but any amount of a contract. So if I had a $5,000 contract for these services, I would be coming to you for the transparency and openness to let you know what has transpired. But his company was the sole bidder. The specs were written open that anybody could have provided these services. It was not, specific to him or his new LLC. So we are recommending that the contract be awarded to IT Election Services LLC of Hagerstown in the amount of $49,920. And I have consulted with the former county administrator as well as the county attorney has been involved in this, and Roger Schlossberg, the attorney to the board. So.
Any questions, comments, commissioners? So you said 148 persons or companies registered to download the bid document. And only one, that's interesting.
I tell you, if you look at the specifications of what all has to be done and the knowledge that you need regarding the voting machines and the policies and practices, the rules that are handed down by the State Board of Elections and all, I don't believe there's a lot of people out there that do this service. And that's probably why, and you can correct me, is that why the state sends out the people for the 2 months? Because it is limited.
That is correct. There's only about a handful of people in the entire state that can do this work. And Mr. Rabusi is one of them.
And your board's okay with it? Absolutely. Okay.
And Terry, let me say that is something else. Kay, the director, has been removed from the process, and these two gentlemen oversee this gentleman's services. So Kay is totally removed from the process. So.
Is that the plan going forward? That's
Yes. Yes.
Well?
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, a motion to move forward is presented.
Moved.
We need a second. We have a motion and a second. I have a motion and a second for the recommended motion. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? 5-0. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Contract award PUR 1345 landfill monitoring services. Ms. Luther, Mr. Mason, how are you today?
I have before you a recommendation for the services, as Commissioner Baker just mentioned. This service is for the 5 landfill locations under the Department of Solid Waste for providing gas and water monitoring services, and it is a requirements contract. There are 5 landfill locations. The contract is a 2-year contract at these rates as proposed, and there are 3 one-year options to renew. We did advertise in the state's e-Maryland Marketplace website, the county's website, and also the local newspaper. There were 41 accesses to downloading the document. 5 firms were represented at the pre-proposal conference, and 5 proposals were received. You'll see the figures that were proposed by those that that the committee considered responsive and responsible. Barton and I'm not sure how to pronounce this, Logodice out of Camp Hill, Pennsylvania, is the committee's recommendation for this contract at an estimated annual total price of $87,051.10 for providing the services based on the unit prices that you see in the bid tab sheet that's attached. And there is money in the budget in each of the separate landfill accounts in Fund 21 for these services.
Okay.
The incumbent was Environmental Alliance, which was the next low proposer.
Any questions, comments, commissioners? Motion to move forward is presented. Motion is second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? 5-0.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I see Mr. Sterling's here. Let's go to the FY 2018. Before, are you expecting any of the board members? No, sir. You're not? Okay. FY 2018 Annual Program Open Space Program. Mr. Sterling.
Good morning.
Good morning.
As per POS guidelines, each year the Board of County Commissioners is required to adopt the annual POS program. Various municipalities, Board of Education, Hagerstown Community College, as well as the City of Hagerstown and counties submit projects for consideration for inclusion in the annual POS program. Based upon anticipated funds available, a program is developed, giving consideration to the priority ranking of the project given by its sponsors. The Recreation and Parks Advisory Board then recommends to the Board of County Commissioners for a program for adoption. After adoption, Board of County Commissioners notification is provided to the sponsors as to which projects have been included in the program, along with approval letters. Then this allows them to send those letters, apply for the funding after July 1st. Our anticipated allocation for this year is $773,841. Now, with that said, as you might recall last year, we have to use 25% of that allocation towards acquisition projects. So with that breakdown, it's $580,381 for development and $193,460 for acquisition. I'll go through these projects. If you have any questions, please ask, and I'll try to answer them as best as possible. Town of Boonesborough, Park Trail Phase 3, $80,000 request. We're looking at $60,000 allocation to them. That's a 500-foot by 6-foot porous concrete connecting the new trail against the old trails, making final connection. Town of Funkstown, their request per the 10-year agreement for refunding the land acquisition last year of $62,700. It breaks out that they would receive $143,460 as part of that $193,000 acquisition requirement. Hagerstown City Park Play Equipment, they're looking at $90,000, which made the cut. That's on the south end of the city park. Park amenities, various parks, $36,000. That's for benches, bleachers, trash cans, picnic tables, and such. Hancock, $56,000 was a request. We're looking at $49,000, and that's to add stone to a walking trail that's already there. Just needs a surface for it. Smithsburg Veterans Park Walking Trail, $54,000. Town of Williamsport, $50,000 for acquisition, which makes up the $193,460. They're looking at the possibility of one of two acquisitions, and they're in negotiations with the one. So this is basically a placeholder for one of the two. Board of Education, the Boonesborough tennis courts, or 6 courts down there that need the resurfacing, so that's $22,687. Town of Keedysville, $20,250 to replace 2 metal roofs on pavilions. And then Washington County, Regional Park Playground Equipment Replacement, $83,000. Marty Snook Park, or Marty Snook Pool Sunshades, $9,000. Ag Center Land Development Horse Ring. It's the access road and some design is $66,444. Patching overlay chip seal various parks, $45,000. I believe part of that goes to Chestnut Grove, part of it will go into the Ag Center. Black Rock Golf Course Maintenance Building metal roof replacement, $45,000 for a balanced budget of $773,841.
Any questions, Commissioners?
The Sharpsburg Clear Spring, did they have any requests, or they?
No. No, they didn't. And Keedysville is first they've requested anything for probably 10 years.
Jim, you may have gone over this. Are you done, Commissioner?
Yes, sir.
I guess on your request acquisition, your totals that I see, you have 112,769, but you're spending 193,460.
The request was 112. If you add the 67,000 along with the 50,000, came to the 112. But by law, we're required to spend 193,460. So we put the money into the Funkstown account because that's the only other acquisition request we had.
But I have 60, okay, but I only have 60, and I'm just asking.
Yeah.
I have 62,769 for Funkstown, so I don't understand how.
Well, the 62,769 was what the county's loan to them was for a 10-year payback, which is all they could request. And with the, like I say, with the fact that we have to have $193,000 allocated, we put the additional funds to Funkstown, which made the 143,460,
So you're making two payments instead of one.
basically.
Okay.
It'll
And
be
the other-
hopefully a quicker payback for us.
Right. Okay, the other question is 50,000 Williamsport. You said it's a placeholder. So what happens if they don't use the money? And
That money will come back into our pot and we'll reallocate it for an acquisition.
And then the time frame for that.
2 years.
Okay, any other questions? Comments, motion to move forward as presented, and this was voted on unanimously?
Yes, unanimously.
with the,
Motion to move forward.
Okay, motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed, 5-0. Thank you. And
Thank you very much.
we have Mayor from Funkstown here with us today, Mayor Crampton. Couldn't think of your last name, but it did. That's a good thing, though. So thank you for attending. Appreciate it. Okay, I see Mr. Curry. Do we need Mr. Easterday to be present? Well, we're okay. Susan Small here? No. Okay, let's. We have a choice to move forward without Mr. Easterday or take a quick recess. Let's take a 4-minute recess. Back, let's move down to the bid awards. Ground maintenance for various county departments. Mr. Curry. Good morning.
Morning. Subject before you is bid award PUR 1349. It's ground maintenance chemicals for various county departments. The move is to award the contract to the responsible companies with the responsive lowest bids that met the specifications for each of the chemicals. There were tied bids received on items 1 and 13. Therefore, we have to draw in public lots according to the county policy, section 2.9. Bids were received on May 10th of this year. Invitation to bid was advertised in on the various websites, also in the local newspaper. The chemicals will be provided for the Blackwell Golf Course, the Highway Department, Department of Water Quality, and the City of Hagerstown occasionally does use the contract. It's a one-year contract that begins July 1st and ends on June 30th of 2018. Funds are budgeted in the department's various operating expense accounts. And also you have a bid tabulation showing all of the prices for the chemicals. Before the award is made, I'll need to draw for the ones that are tie bids. So I'll do that first, and so that way it can be included in the award.
Okay. Turn that head a little further.
Item number 1 will be for Helena Chemical Company.
Which one?
Item number 1 will be for Helena Chemical Company.
Okay.
Next will be drawn for item number 13. Item 13 will be awarded to Crop Production Services. With that, if the board would make a recommendation of an award.
So we're just approving the entire recommendation, and then you'll include the
Yes, sir.
drawing. Okay, a motion to move forward is presented.
So moved.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Curry. Okay, conveyance of real property to Cascade Town Center Development. Before we do that, I have, Mr. Greg Stocksdale's here, and he wanted to make an invitation to the commissioners before we do that. How are you, Mr. Stocksdale? Good.
Thank you, sir. I'm Greg Stocksdale, 23-year resident of Cascade. Just wanted to say on behalf of my friends and neighbors in Cascade, we're having a community meeting at 6 p.m. this Thursday night at the Fort Ritchie Community Center. I would definitely extend a welcome to any commissioner that's available to show up.
Okay, I'm sorry, what time did it start?
6 p.m.
Oh, 6 p.m. Okay, and then will JG BLI be there also?
Yes, sir. As I understand, they are making a presentation to the community.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sirs.
Okay, conveyance of real property to Cascade Town Center Development LLC. Ms. Small, how are you this morning?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good.
Good. Today's subject is the conveyance of real property to the Cascade Town Center Development LLC. My recommended motion is to move to adopt the ordinance declaring 63 acres, more or less, located within the Cascade Development District and identified on the attached aerial, which you should have received with the ARF, as the property, as surplus property, and to approve the conveyance of the same and authorize the execution of necessary documentation to finalize the conveyance. The county's intent to convey the property was duly advertised on May 16th, 23rd, and 30th of 2017, and a portion of the property, 42.29 acres, is ready to be conveyed to Cascade Town Center Development, LLC, with the remaining 20.71 acres, more or less, to be conveyed after a simplified subdivision process has occurred. As you know, the proposal to declare the property surplus and convey it as explained was duly advertised and required by local law. Public comment was invited. We have received 3 comments, which were also provided to you prior to this meeting. It has been determined by the county that the property is not needed for public use, and it's being conveyed for no monetary consideration, since it is meant to activate redevelopment in the Cascade Development District. There is no fiscal impact, and the concurrences are a Director of Engineering. And there was also an aerial GIS map showing the 63 acres.
Okay, any questions, comments, commissioners? Okay, if none,
Motion to approve as submitted. Move forward.
Second.
okay, we have a motion and a second for the recommended motion. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No. 4-1. Thank you very much, and we do have an ordinance, and that's all prepared and ready to move forward. And we also have the Lee family here today, JGBLI, and I want to thank you for attending the meeting today, and we know you're going to bring some great things to Cascade and Washington County, and we're looking forward to working with you. Thank you.